aqui é só pentada, adaptada, 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 adaptada,
It's the second round of the Prototype Cup Europe for 2025, and it's qualifying day at the Nürburgring, which is absolutely stunning this weekend. We're really excited to go racing once again. It's been a long time since we saw Prototype Cup Europe. I think their first round was back in Mugello. So a very long wait for our field of drivers. As you can see, perfect temperature to go racing, not too hot, not too cold, 21 degrees air temperature with humidity at 35 degrees. And the Prototype Cup Europe Championship, which used to be known as the Prototype Cup Germany, now thanks to its extended presence across Europe with that moniker of Europe Cup. Of course, it's open to the LMP3 category of car. It's the only fully MP3 category. We see the LMPs in other championships, but they are the headline act here. They don't have to worry about other GT cars around them. And we have a nice little grid of 9 cars getting ready for qualifying 1. We're going to do qualifying 1 now, and then we are going to go away and get the Creventic qualifying underway. We'll get the 24-hour series qualified, and then we'll go back to qualifying 2. Let's go down to Sarah, who's in the pits.
Welcome down to the pit lane. Well, what an exciting championship it has been so far. Just behind me, Maxime Dirks. He won race 1. We also had Theo McCallis win race 2. However, Theo's not here this weekend, so an opportunity for Maxime to extend his lead. He's promised me a little quick word before he goes out. Maxime, been a while since March. What have you been up to since to keep switched on?
It has been a while indeed. I've been doing a lot of sports, a lot of preparations on the simulator, and just waiting to be here. Really happy to be here.
And the circuit, tell me what's exciting. You've had a couple of test days out here. Did you manage to get full running?
Oh, sorry.
Well, we've got to go. Let's go. Oh.
Sorry.
Yes, Sarah, beware. Cars are on track. They want to go racing. And we've got not a helicopter in the sky. That's our drone pictures, but it does sound as though there is a helicopter pretty close. I think they're possibly on the left-hand side. Cars heading down to the end of pit lane. Why were they in a rush? Because they desperately wanted to get a good position in the queue. I'm not really sure whether that's massively important, because there is only 9 cars in the field. And good to see that Maxime Dietrich's here, sharing that car with Nigel Moore. You may remember Nigel, very, very strong driver. Well, it was LMP3, wasn't it, that he ended up in when it was a Ginetta?
Correct.
Even LMP2.
Very much so. It's almost named synonymous with Ginetta, wasn't it? The Moore family, whole group of them out there driving. In terms of driving side of things, Sarah Moore, who is sister to Nigel, once upon a time beat me in a Smart Cup race. Would you believe? It's a low bar.
Yeah, it's a low bar. I don't know if she's still racing or not, but yeah, at one point there were Moors everywhere. More Moors. Why are we not going green? I thought we were ready to go. Qualifying should be starting, oh, okay, in 10 seconds, in 15 seconds time. We'll get the cars out on the circuit. Okay then, whilst we wait for the green light at the end of pit lane, which is about to happen, let's go back to Sarah.
Hello. Well, just to give you a little bit of information from down here, it's 22 degrees ambient, 43 degrees track temperature. Well, it looks like that's all I've got for you for the moment. Look out for the Muka Motorsport. I will tell you, they have intently put their Pro and Am on different stints so they do not race each other in qualifying. So one of the pros will be in one car, obviously going out now, and then later on they'll switch it so they keep the cars safe.
I mean, they're not necessarily going to trip over each other, but great to have Muka Motorsport with us. A very, very famous name in the world of motor racing generally. That pink livery, thanks to the BWT sponsorship. We see that car in DTM, or that colour, sorry, in DTM and across German motorsport. They have 2 entries here for Tobias Clausen and Matthias Puschkel. And it is Matthias in the number 8 at the moment. And then for this session, they have in the number 18, Mads Larsen, with Marcus Pommer sharing that car. They're all actually rated as silver drivers. So we have some which will have bronzes in them. We have some bronze-only drivers. We have a single silver driver, but the majority of the partnerships are silver-silver. There is Maxime for Alst Motorsport. Most of these cars, by the way, the Ligier P325. But look out for the 2 Ducanes. And there's an Ades as well for Purple Sector, the Portuguese team. These do really look a lot of fun to drive. A great training ground and step up into LMP2 from here. And you know, this championship just a really good opportunity to just get lap time in and get experience without having to worry about, number one, huge amounts of cars on track, like you might have, let's say, in the Michelin Cup, or indeed different categories of car that you then have to deal with as well. Obviously that comes as part of endurance racing, but just to focus on being able to drive cleanly, this is a great opportunity. And there's a look at 2 different chassis of car then, because you've got the Ducane there ahead of the Ades, the blue machine at the back of shot. Don't know actually who is in the Ades for this session. We've got Pavel Lefterov and Boris Yonshev sharing that car, but neither are listed on our timing screens at the moment. Through the shot goes Mads Larsen in the 18, one of our junior drivers, so different categories of driver as well. So you've got the FIA classifications.
It's new to me, the Ades brand, or new to my knowledge. I'm not overly familiar with a lot of these, the Ducane and the Ligier maybe, a bit more familiar with, but the Ades is a Portuguese-built car. Apparently, I'm just having a look at its history now.
And it's great to have, because
yeah, more variety, brilliant.
One forgets that LMP2 is actually an open platform for different chassis, because it's all ended up being the same chassis. Wherever you look, whether it be European Le Mans Series or anywhere else where there's an LMP2 car, you very rarely see any other than the Oreca. Whereas at least in LMP3, there is a decent field spread of different types of chassis. And as I say, I've never heard of an Ades either.
Well, it's just more variety, isn't it? It's good to have in there. It's a little bit different. And it's currently, where is it at the moment? It's, we've now got Boris Yongchev on our screen as a driver for it.
So it's been updated.
Correct. So it's not Pavel left it off. It's Boris Yonchev.
So we're getting up to speed now with these cars. They've just gone on to their third lap time. Second lap time, 1:56.5 is the fastest time from Danny Soufi that we are following right now in the number 11 machine. But I would expect to see the Muka Motorsport pink machines up at the sharp end of the field. For the moment, actually, Danny doing a good job here. Slightly faster than Matthias in the number 8 machine that sits second position. You've then got Ally Racing of Linus Hellberg, who is just 0.3 of a second back from Matthias. And then Mads Larsen 1.1 back. Still not got a time, oddly, from the Larea GT1 Racing. Now Zeno comes across the line and sets a lap time, but that is 8th position. Now, interestingly, we've got one timing screen that says it's Boris Yonchev in the number 7, and the other timing screen says it's his teammate. So I'm not quite sure which we are trusting. So Denny Soufi coming towards the line then to set another lap time. This should be better. And actually, just ahead of him, Matthias Bluchel has set a lap time of 0.2 of a second. So very tight at the head of the field between first and second. We're following once again Danny Soufi. He had the purple sector in the first and the second sectors, but his middle sector not quite as strong as Matthias. And here is the number 8 machine. And let's see, therefore, if he's on a push lap now. He may well decide this one should be a slower lap time. Good improvement in third position for Maxim Dietrich, the car that we briefly spoke to at the start of the session, up to third spot, with Mad Larsen in fourth, Emil Hellberg, Linus Hellberg for the two Ally Racing machines. And this looks like, to me, Snowy, another push lap from the 8.
It most certainly does. He was building up to it. I do love these BWT pink colours. I've seen it across various cars, Formula 1, Carrera Cup, etc., etc. And it's great to see that. But definitely on a push lap now, so try and bank one in very quickly. Decent temperatures, I would say, almost perfect temperatures to be out there in a racing car at the moment on the Nürburgring Grand Prix track. It's nice and warm. It's dry. It's not too hot. Tyres aren't going to degrade too much. There's a little bit of wind, just about right. Another 5 degrees will make quite a bit of difference to these. So I would say this is almost optimal conditions to be out there for a qualifying session.
49.7 there from Matthias, so under the 50 mark. Right behind him, Danny Soufi, 3 to 0.4 of a second off on that last effort. Great to be able to just about see your target ahead of him, and presumably the team will be on the wall and saying to Danny, she's not going to be able to see him now, is he? The gap on the road is a bit too great, but sometimes it's quite nice to have a target to chase.
It's a well-known element of driver psychology, isn't it, that you can push and be driving on your own, and you think you're driving the car to the limit, you think you're getting the best out of it, every corner, every gear change, everything absolutely right, everything nice and precise, and then all of a sudden the car that you've chased down that's suddenly so many seconds ahead, you get a visual, get eyes on at a corner, and you suddenly dig deep and find that extra little bit, which the team always say to you, where was that 3 laps ago? But there's something about the psychology of, as you say, you lock it, you can see it's there, carrot and stick, and you're off.
Dietrich's up to 4th position then. There's just a little bit, well, there's still huge amounts of improvement coming across the board from all of our cars. There's still, again, much like we saw with the Radical Cup a little bit earlier on in their qualifying session, it seems as though it's taking a while for these, presumably these are Michelin tyres, to build up and get decent performance out of them. They are not, a 1 lap, boom, there's your performance and then drop off. All the drivers are still able to extract decent performance right now. So Matthias Bluchel leads by 3.5 of a second over Danny Soufi, and then a 1.6 seconds back then to Mads Larsen and Maxim Dietrich. Here comes a slower this time Matthias. So that was, well, I say slower, it was a 10th slower, so no improvement. What about Danny behind? Is an improvement on lap time and goes within 0.02 of a second of Matthias Plüschel. 0.02 of a second now separate first and second. That is offering us a great bit of entertainment when it comes to racing conditions. So exactly the same gap actually between third and fourth. Mads Larsen 0.08 of a second ahead of Maxim Dietrich, so very, very close there as well.
So I think our provisional pole sitter car's having a cooling down lap by the look of it. Looks to be, I'm not going to say sauntering, but certainly not going dynamically through that. As we saw with the radical qualifying sessions a few moments earlier, that take a breather, gather all your thoughts, think about where you can improve, and put it all into action again. Although they are provisional pole, but as you say, it's such a close battle at the front, tie at the front almost. Danny Soufi will be keen to try and do that.
An improvement from Maxim Dietrich on that last lap, just to slot himself ahead of Mads Larsen. So now we've got
the P3, yes.
Duquesne's first and fourth. But again, there's more improvements coming. Danny Soufi faster than Matthias Plüschel on this lap. And Matthias with not a fast middle sector, so the camera crews pick up the Ligier. And he's better through the middle sector. Is he going to be able to find enough? I mean, he only needs the tiniest margin to get onto provisional pole. Turns his way through the final turn. It is an improvement ahead of him from Matthias, but towards the line now with 3.5 minutes remaining, and Danny Soufi for JMS gets himself to the provisional pole by nearly 0.3 of a second. Great battle between these two. Of course, they're not going to know the entertainment that they're providing, but Soufi leads. Plüschel in second, an improvement from Linus Hellberg on that last lap up to fourth position. So Mads Larsen being dropped down to fifth spot in his Muka Motorsport number 18 machine.
So I said that the number 8 BWT Muka Motorsport entry, Matthias Plüschel, that was in pole position, or provisional pole position, had a quiet lap, as it were, a gathering of thoughts lap. He'll now be on it, hopefully, to retake that position, if he can, or aim to, from Danny Soufi. But he's got some work to do, and only 2.5 minutes with which to do that.
Coming on strong at the end of this session, Maxim Dietrich just 4.5 tenths off the pole now. This Danny once again being picked up by a drone. I love the fact that we're using the faster chicane here. Being able to flick left and right.
Such a flow through that. In an MP3 car, I bet that is absolutely fun. All the way through.
This is Zeno Falquet, who's just improved up to fifth position for L'Area GT1 Racing. He's in another Duquesne. And actually the field is compressing, which is a bit of a surprise at the end of this session with just 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Here's Linus Hellberg. He's got up to fourth, and actually his middle sector's probably not good enough to be able to improve. We've got the top two still in the 49s, despite not improving their lap times. Soufi on the pole, Matthias second, and Mads Larsen now improves and takes back that fourth spot, that row 2 from Linus Hellberg, who, as I say, wasn't able to improve, and that may well be the end of this session. Just 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Looking at my timing screens, we've got some green sectors at the tail of the field, particularly from our Ades, for instance, that we haven't picked up on camera yet. We look at the number 8 car, which is not improving. This is another slow lap. Whether he'll get round, it's quite early on in the lap, isn't he? So I'm not sure he'll get round to start one last blast.
Yeah, 40 seconds to go on the clock, Ben. And he has 37 seconds, 34 to go to complete the lap, 37 for Danny Soufi. They're not going to get to another lap.
Okay. So, but Danny is faster in the first sector. He is still on a push lap. He doesn't need to be. I would suggest that he's probably got pole position secured in qualifying 1. It's a car that he will be sharing with Valentino Calatano, who's a junior driver there. And let's see if he gets a faster lap time. It looks good.
Flag is out.
Danny Sufi round the final turn, and this could be another chunk taken out of the pole time. It is a 1:49.218 is the pole time, a good half a second faster than Matthias Puschkel in his Muka Motorsport Duqueine, and they are a good healthy advantage over the rest of the field, with Maxim Dirks in 3rd position, but then you've got to go 2 seconds back for Mads Larsen in 5th, and he's just improved that time as well. Checker flag's being taken by the top 4, apart from Maxime, but he is on a slow lap. Maybe Emil Hellberg has still got a lap in him, down in 7th position, the number 48 car. We've got green sectors from both 49 and 48. So whilst we look at Matthias Puschkel running slowly around the circuit, what about the 2 cars still running? Yes, we do have green sectors in 40 from 48. How good an improvement will this be towards the line? Emil Hellberg does improve his time, but it's only good enough for 7th position. And where is Zeno Falca? We saw him come across the line a little bit earlier on. Sort of late to the party, wasn't he, Zeno? He didn't really get going until right at the end of the session. If he can improve again, we might see a change of position for him. He's 6th right now, and there is the car in 3rd position. And it was a great improvement for Zeno. Look at that, up to 4th position in the last lap. What a coming of age from Zeno Falca. So the results from qualifying 1 then. Danny Sufi on the pole position by half a second over Matthias Puschkel, with Maxime Dirks in 3rd spot. And look, just barely a 10th of a second between those 2. And then a big chunk of time down to Mads Larsen in 4th, Linus Hellberg 5th. That's wrong, of course, because Zeno Falca got 4th position. And there is the rest of the top 9. Is Puschkel swapping fastest lap times throughout the session, but right at the end there, the final opportunity in the final lap, Danny Sufi for GMS getting the pole position by half a second over Matthias Puschkel, with Maxim Dirks in 3rd and Zeno Falca in 4th. Thanks for joining us here at the Nürburgring for qualifying 1. We'll be coming back for qualifying 2 after Creventic 24H Series has their qualifying for their 12-hour race here at the Nürburgring. Toma, vai safada.